welcome to another of my van build videos. Really happy to be sharing this one for a couple reasons. One is it's one of my final van build videos. I'm getting really close to the end of this before I'll do, maybe one final one of a van tour of some type. The second reason is this one is for my bed, and I have seen so many great van bed builds out in my fellow YouTube family world. A lot of inspiration. But I had a lot of check marks that I was looking for with mine, and I feel like I've been able to accomplish all of them, but it was a lot of work. However, this is not clickbait. I'm not going to make you wait till the very end to see it. I'm going to show you the whole thing right now. And if you're interested, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, I'll get through it all. And if you want to see more details on how I built it and kind of the journey, you can watch the 20 minutes that precede it. But other than that, let's get going and I can show you everything. So with this van, or with this bed, you have to start with the couch. Fairly common, right, to have a combination. And as you've seen by my other van videos, I feel really strongly in multitasking with whatever I build, because the van is so small, you need to do as many things as you can in one space. This probably my crowning achievement in terms of the number of things I've got into this build. So I'll start counting them off. Number 1 is for this to be a couch, and I have moved it or had it positioned with these bay doors. Part of the reason is this view right here is, I think, one of the greatest gems of a van. You have these a huge door that opens, and then windows here. So this is really your looking glass to nature, to Mother Nature, right? Obviously you can be outside, that's really great. But when you're inside, maybe in the morning drinking a cup of coffee, or if it's storming, you can have a full front row seat to everything that's going on out there. So it's really just a great spot, and I didn't want to hide it. I wanted it to be front and center. So that is number 1. Number 2 is the fact that this is a storage unit as well. So it is a 60-40 split, and you can remove these cushions. And lift up here, and underneath you can store a lot of different things. So on this side, cushions inside. Actually, this will bring me to my next item, which is number 3, and it's the table that we have. So I've got this great pivot base. I built this wood interchange. I'd already shown you my countertops that I made. And on the bottom of them, I have dowels that I have sanded down to give a little bit of an angle, and then allows me to lock it in. And so now I've got a table that I can eat at with my couch. And again, I mentioned I used my countertops over there. So that is number 3. Number 4 is my L-shaped couch. And what this allows me to do is to recline and look out. So it's a little more relaxing than just a standard couch. And again, really points and pays or takes advantage of this incredibly large window I have. So that was number 4. Number 5 is inside here. I actually have it designed to hold my Dometic cooler. Now it's not in there right now. It's just some random storage stuff that I've thrown in some sleeping bags, but I have a 24-volt line in the back so that I can plug my Dometic cooler in. And for those that haven't tried, your cooler running off 24 volts is far more efficient than running off 12. I think I save 40% of the energy, or it's 40% more efficient by doing that. So that's number 5. It's my location for my refrigerator and freezer. 6 is, so this one I thought I would just pause for a second and show. So this is my armrest on the back end side, and I've designed it so that this piece pops off. I do have a little screw bracket that holds it down so that it won't accidentally flip off, but anyways, and then because as a bed, which is the final piece of this puzzle for myself, I'm a very tall guy. I'm over 6'2". I need a queen bed, and this is obviously not a queen bed either direction I wanted to go. So you can actually remove the armrests. So these armrests actually can lock in back here, and I'm going to do this first one, which is going to be outside of your window or your preview, but this one you will be able to see. Goes down, and then these were my armrests, and then these were my armrests on that side. Sorry if I'm sweating a little bit, it's 100 degrees right now. They fit on, and you saw it was my footrest when I had it in the L-shaped couch, so it also is the footrest for my bed. And I can take these guys and thread them up underneath and lock them into place to allow them to hold still. And that's my 6 function bed. So hope you enjoyed. If you liked this and you want to see more, there's 20 minutes of kind of how I did it. If you also liked it, make sure to give a thumbs up and or subscribe for more stuff. I think that's it. I think we'll close it off for the day. And like I said, really close. I might have one small little video to talk about my plumbing that I did and my toilet. Other than that, I should be getting close to being done. Thanks for keeping me company along the way. Time to fold it up. Done. Hello. You guys are used to me saying I'm excited and always excited because projects continue to move. This van is getting closer and closer to being done. This time though, this is my last major project for the van. Yep, I definitely have some small little things I have to do, but this is the last major one. And not only is it the last major one in terms of the build process, but it was probably the most in-depth in terms of the design process. I've already talked about, when I was talking about the cabinet or the countertops, my multitasker mentality in the van, right? Always wanting, where possible, to put more than one benefit into something because the van is just too small otherwise. And this is my bed, my couch, my storage for my refrigerator, pneumatic cooler, a storage for pillows and my bedding. It's a couch that starts small but then expands out to the size of a queen. It turns into an L-shaped couch, so I can have more than one person, or I can sit on one side and have kind of a love seat while I look out my van. I know it sounds like a lot of things, and as I mentioned, a lot of work went into this. Al, who is, I'm here at his shop, has helped me throughout this whole process once again, and we went back and forth, I kid you not. So I worked on this for months on my own, just off and on, doodling and drawing, and I'll show those as I'm talking here. But then when we really got down to being able to order this is 80/20, just this extruded aluminum, just like we did for the my garage, except this one is an 1.5 inches versus that one was 1 inch because we wanted some more girth to this considering we're sitting on it. And we probably went back and forth for a solid month with drawing after drawing, one of us saying, no, that doesn't work. The other one saying, well, how about this? And going back and forth in this very creative process. This is why when you are doing something like this, or even a smaller project, if there's complexity to it, it really does pay off to have somebody you trust that you can bounce the ideas off of, because inevitably two minds are better than one. Ultimately, somebody does have to make a call, and in this case for me, I was continuing to say, no, this is my ultimate goal. And if an idea came up that didn't align to that, we didn't do it, right? But having Al in my corner allowed me and us to work through quite a number of technical challenges. And we have all the parts done, everything's cut. I'm not going to even show you that because you saw me cut stuff for the garage. It's the same process. And again, there were some trickier things that we did here because of how things interconnect. I'll talk about those. And then I'll really just show you the assembly process, and we'll see if this whole thing works like we expect. Again, should have a tremendous amount of functionality to it for its space. And with that, let's get going. Day 2 of assembling the bed. Like yesterday, I am doing this from Al's workshop, which you've seen me at many times before, or as I like to call Santa's workshop, because it pretty much has every tool necessary to build anything you could want to build. I know I'm very fortunate to have access to all this. We didn't get quite as far of assembling or building the bed as we wanted to yesterday, but this is really par for the course when you're doing something for the first time. You just want to spend the time to do it right and think through things. So you might have seen in the very quick video I just showed, I ended up having to redo or unassemble some stuff and put it back together, and part of that had to do with the order that we were doing it in, and part of it had to do with us realizing that we needed to have some cross holes drilled for the cross beams themselves that we're putting in. So today we're hoping to make a tremendous amount of progress, maybe even getting to the point of finishing with the build. We're going to do the next 2 layers, and those layers actually have some functionality in terms of opening and closing. Al is sitting there prepping the boards that we got from IKEA. I saw that on another YouTube video, so it's always good to look out and see if you can, get some good ideas from things. So those boards are actually the equivalent of the box spring that IKEA uses for their beds, or a lot of them, and they're just about the right length. We'll have to cut them off a little bit to make them perfect. We'll also have to mill a little bit of the material away from some of the 80/20 so that they can sit into the frame correctly. But other than that, they're pretty much built for this purpose. I think that's about it. We'll get going, and hopefully when I talk to you again, it'll be on the other side showing a wonderfully designed bed couch versus hopefully not a very expensive paperweight. All right, so this should be a really good day. Everything takes longer than you expect, but if you're gonna do it right, and especially if you're gonna do it the first time, you really need to give yourself the luxury of just pausing, and if you have to, redoing things. So while this side looks done, I think I put the screw holes in the wrong place to have the slats line up perfect, and could fix it, but it probably wouldn't look right. So I'm probably going to decide to redo the holes in this one. That being said, I do think that I did it correctly with the long slats, and now I've drilled them all and spray painted the bars to make them look good. So now we get the fun of assembling it, and Al behind me is starting to assemble the armrests that go on the end, and I'll show you how all that works when we get this thing together. So with that, let's start the process of assembly. I've finished doing the assembly, which you just saw. It's the magic of time-lapse video. It happens in a snap. Now I have to see if they fit. I suspect, because I was eyeing it, that I'm going to get some interference between the slats, and we had a backup plan for that, which was, as long as it's not a huge amount, I could drill a bigger hole in where the screws go for the wood and slide it over a little bit, essentially creating a little bit of a slot. The distance that I had between slots wasn't much. It was just the thickness of one of the screws I used as a separator. So not much. In any case, let's see how it fits. Oh my gosh, what do you know? It fits. I thought for sure that it wasn't gonna fit. And it's close because like right here, it just touches. So, you know, maybe it doesn't really matter that it just touches because
it fits.
It fits. And if the whole thing, I mean, it could just be that it's slightly off square too.
Well, you know what you can do is loosen the top hinge bolts and slide sideways.
These ones?
Back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But as a first, before we, you know, I fine tune it, dang, this is cool.
It looks good.
It looks really good. I am so happy. This is, I mean, this is the complex. Look at this.
Cooler access.
Yeah. Wow. Nice job. Like all journeys, there comes a point in which you finish it, and this could be the case in this situation, getting really close. The last piece of this process, at least from designing, then ordering and cutting all the pieces, and then kind of assembling / manufacturing this, is for us to attach these armrests to the end. They're designed to, right here, to stack on top of each other, and the height will be just about right. It also has, like everything, it's a multitasker for me. This bed is not a queen, but I need a queen from a length standpoint. So it's designed for the armrest to be detached and to put in the side and click so that you can extend the length of the bed. In order to do that though, we didn't take into account the fact that these end caps are about 200 thousandths thick, a little more. And when you stack them on top of each other, it changes the dimensions just enough where it doesn't work. So I'm going to go through the process of disassembling this and kind of trimming back some of the pieces to make these end caps a little more flush in the process. And then we also have to drill some holes in the side so that we can use the knobs essentially that we have that affix the armrest or pull it into the side so it doesn't fall off. In any case, getting really close, so let's get to work. From Leo's Upholstery, and I have searched all over the Bay Area for somebody to help me make my custom cushions. While I'm doing, pretty much everything else, as you guys know, in the van, this was one thing I was not going to do because it's both an art and a science combined, and I just, maybe with 20 years of trying it, I could get the skill, but it's better to go for a pro with this. And I had some pretty unique qualities or things that I wanted from this. We'll kind of show it in a second, but at a high level, there had to be this split with the bed that you've already seen, and then needed to be able to use them individually. So there's a 60-40 split going here. Needed to be able to form a couch, but then also a bed. And as you guys saw, I have a footrest or an armrest that turns into the foot of the bed so that I can have a queen. And so I also needed to be able to put a cushion on that end. And so this has been a real collaborative effort with Leo. He helped me think through things, which goes back to my point. It's really important, I think, as you're doing a project like this, not to think you have to do it 100% on your own. Go talk to people. If you're nice, people are willing to share their thoughts and ideas with you. And I personally have found that it's gotten me a better product or end result every single time. And all right, so we're gonna go try this thing out.
Let's get it going.
So the idea is, I've got, an L-shaped couch, and can sit here and stare out at the beautiful outside.
Yeah, outside. You can see how it doesn't bottom out.
No, it doesn't at all. This feels really good. I was actually worried
Yeah.
with this. I just didn't know, right? And I know I kept talking to you about it like a million times. Oh, I want to make sure, and you put all these different layers in it. This, I cannot feel the bottom at all.
Yeah, and with this kind of foam here, it's not going to bottom out. It's high-end rubber foam.
Yeah.
Just need a little stretch out.
Even on my side, I can't even feel it with my hip.
You can't feel it, yeah. No, we're expecting it to last like that for a very long time.
Wow. Yeah, you did a really nice job with this. I gotta adjust my feet on these things to make this flush. But look at that. Oh, gosh. It's the length of a queen. Wow.
Isn't that awesome?
Wow.
It's like custom made, right?
It's almost like it's custom made.
These would be nice if you could adjust them. They had levels. This would be kind of like a nice little reclining.
Oh,
little book.
I didn't even think about that. Sure.
Not sure how that would work. But,
Yeah. Maybe I can.
this is a firmer surface here, so you might want to think about putting your head here on this part.
Yeah. No, not a bad idea.
It's a process of putting it together, but I'm sure it's not going to take a very long time.
No, I don't think so. Once I get it down. Yeah. Wow, this is really good. Thank you.
So you're not bottoming out off anything.
Not
right?
even like this, where I mean, it's one thing like this because your weight is spread, but when I'm like this, it's all concentrated. I still don't bottom out.